Good afternoon, Saitlanders. How are you? As I mentioned in a video that I recorded a few minutes ago, I know that I look a little bit unkempt and disheveled. I've been out and about doing some things in the rain. It's raining nicely here in Van der Kloof, although it's abated a bit now. Hopefully it returns. It looks as if it will return if I cast my eyes out the window. Cast my gaze out the window. Right, guys, what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about Angela Merkel. For those of you who believe that Siener's prophecy refers to her. As you know, there is a very renowned prophecy by Siener van Rensburg, which is to do with, which is a milestone on the road towards our future. Die Dan-tyd, the then time, as we call it in Saitlanders. And that prophecy speaks of a woman with blue eyes wearing a dress between the colors of white and blue, so let's say sky blue or light blue. I don't know what phrase you'd prefer to use to interpret that. And that when that woman leaves, that is an indicator that the time is upon us. Now, of course, this is entirely speculative. I don't know of anybody who can provide a cogent, that is to say a persuasive argument, for why it should be Angela Merkel. Neither do I know of anybody who can provide a persuasive argument for why it should be the Queen of England. And there are arguments, and some people are quite vociferous in their arguments, but they're not logically persuasive. They simply are not. And if they're tested, they fail. Which is not to say that they're false, but simply that the argument is too weak to be considered persuasive or convincing, or to use the precise word, cogent. But I know that some of you will appreciate this video because you may be those who believe, for whatever that belief is worth, that the woman with the blue eyes who leaves, who disappears, the woman in the north, is Angela Merkel. And today being the 9th of December 2021, I can tell you that yesterday, following the German elections of, what was the date? I don't have it here in front of me, but of roughly a month ago. Following those elections, a government, they call it the traffic light government, because it's, in Germany, the various political parties are associated with various colors. And they've had to compose a government of various political parties, 3 political parties, one of whose color is green, one of whose color is orange, and one of whose is red. This traffic light coalition government was finally successfully formed and permitted to, what is the right word? I think it's appointed yesterday, Wednesday, the 8th of December, 2021. About 4 weeks ago, Mr. Miller and I were discussing this thing very shortly after the elections, and I said to him that I thought that Angela Merkel would leave office within a few days. In other words, elections had been concluded, there was a winner, a government would be formed, and they would take over. But in fact, I was wrong. It took much longer. It has taken a full month, and that process was only concluded yesterday. I don't know if you know this, but the German system of government has something above the Chancellor, namely a president. As we used to have in South Africa, a prime minister and then a president. And the president's role was largely ceremonial, but there was theoretically some power there. You know, he had the right, technically, to approve or reject a government. And he was above political governance. In other words, he was above electoral governance. And so if the National Party won an election, in theory, it was his right to permit them to form a government. Okay, in the same way, in Germany, there is such a thing as a president. And so the president, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, appointed this government, this new government, yesterday. And for those of you who are interested, the new government will be headed by, in other words, the Chancellor of Germany will be a man by the name of Olaf Scholz. I'm not sure exactly or precisely how the Germans pronounce it, but Olaf Scholz. No T, but indeed a Z. And that's the long and the short of it, guys. For those of you who are interested, for those of you who believe in that way, that prophecy referred to Angela Merkel, there you go. She has now formally left power. Of course, if the prophecy referred to or refers to the Queen of England, then this video is meaningless. All right, everybody, take very good care of yourselves. May the Lord bless, protect, and keep you in the days that lie ahead of us. The following year or so, 15 months, is going to be a difficult one. It's going to be a time of trial and tribulation. Okie dokes. Goodbye and God bless you.